When it comes to making money online, there are a lot of different ways to do it, and there's a lot of questions about what are the right things to do, where's the best place to put your time and energy. And in this video, I'm going to answer some of the most common questions that I get about getting started making money online. My name's Lane. I have a multiple six-figure online business. I've made over $1 million or so, 1.2 million or so in the course of my online business. So I know how to take content online and turn it into at least $1 million bucks. So if you want to learn from someone who's done it, let's talk. Question one, do I need a big following before I start selling anything? No, you don't need a big following. This is one of the things that I love about online business is that once you create an audience, you can sell to that audience even if that audience is small. The key is having a really, really good offer, something that solves their problem. I like to think in terms of who, what, how. Who am I helping? What am I helping them do? And how am I helping them do it? Once you have those three questions nailed down and you start making content, you are going to gather an audience of people who are going to want to learn from you at a deeper level. They're going to want you to help them solve their problem in a way that you can't do just through content. They're going to want specialized attention, which when you have a small audience, one of the best ways to structure an offer is one-on-one coaching, or as simple as just calls, like paid calls, where you put a little button on your website or a link in your bio and you say, book a call with me, and you have it charge them an amount of money to talk with you for an hour. That's one of the best ways to do it. And you don't need a big audience to do that. You literally just need a little bit of authority online, which you get that by making content. Should I build a course, a coaching offer, or a community first? Right now, what I would say is community. Here's why. Courses are basically dead. The world of selling online courses kind of ended. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's very hard to do. Part of that has to do with AI changing the way people react to and respond to information, how they are less likely to buy packaged information these days. And it used to be something that people just bought. When I first got into this, you could make a course. It was just a set of videos and some downloadables, and it was good, but it was just a set of videos and downloadable PDFs, and you could sell it for $200, $400, $2,000. Those days are done. And what has really replaced that is a community where people are paying to be a part of a curated community that helps solve the problem. So again, everything goes back to who, what, how. Who are you helping? What are you helping them do? How are you helping them do it? In the old days, that how question, how am I helping them solve their problem, would have been a course. These days, it's more of get people into the community, and that is one of the ways that you help them solve their problem. So especially with AI, making everybody completely disconnected from other human beings, people are very eager to connect with other real people. That's why courses are almost entirely rejected, because we don't need information. We have plenty of information. When I first got into online business, I was very surprised at the fact that people still bought courses, even though back in those days, what we would call it was you could Google something. This was before large language models like OpenAI and Anthropic, Claude, ChatGPT. Those weren't around yet. So back in those days, if somebody wanted information, all they had to do was Google it, but what they got was disparate pieces of information. So the purpose that a course served back in those days was it gave a clear, direct path. It's like you are stuck here and you want to get to here. This course is going to map out that direct path from you, and it's going to give you all the milestones along the way. Now that someone can just go to Claude and say, I'm stuck here, I'm trying to get to here, map out a course for me, and it will just do it. That's why it's harder to sell. But what AI cannot do, at least not yet, is it can't connect real people together. I mean, you can use AI tools to build a community, so that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you can get information through AI, but you can't connect with other human beings, and people still crave that. So if you have content that you're building around a particular niche and you're solving a problem that people have in a particular area, let's say fitness, for example, you're helping people lose like the last 15 pounds. Well, in the old days, it would have just been give them a course, give them a fitness app, and just sell the heck out of that, right? Make tons of content, get people in your funnel, sell them the course, rinse, repeat. Now the play is more get them in a community that is a paid community or a free community at its lowest level, but then it has paid tiers that you go up from there. So maybe everybody gets in for free, at this base level. But if they want live Q&As with you and they want certain touch points throughout the month, or they want accountability or maybe some group coaching, now you're starting to charge them from there. And then a coaching offer is the other thing that I would start out right away. I've always said this, even if you don't have a community yet, even if you don't have a course yet, you can always just put a button in your link in bio or on your website that just says book a call with me and charge for that. That could be your base level coaching offer. And then from there, you can offer coaching packages. I like to do cohorts. I used to do a lot of one-on-one coaching, and what I realized is that a one-on-one coaching client has to pay a lot of money to get my direct time. And it's actually more valuable when that person is in a small group with other people, 6 to 12 people, who work directly with me for a short period of time, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. What this does is it allows them not just to learn from me, but to learn from each other with me facilitating the discussion. What's the actual first step? Content, offer, or platform? Content is the absolute first step. You need to start making content early and often. And in your content, you need to have a way that you're getting people to go from the content to your email list, or in some cases to your community, whichever path that you want to take. Because the hardest part about this whole thing is building an audience. It is the part that if you can get started early on building an audience, you're going to do very well. If you put that off while you're over here building an offer and setting up your Kajabi backend and all this stuff, and you don't have the one thing that you need more than anything else, which is people giving you their attention by watching your content or reading your content, then none of that other stuff matters. This is why I say, even if you don't have a product yet, even if you don't have an offer yet, totally fine. Just start making content. Have a call to action to get people from the content to your email list. Do that by offering a free or low-cost resource, something helpful that relates to the who, what, how. Who are you helping? What are you helping them do? How are you helping them do it? Put that into a PDF, call it a guide, and give that in exchange for people's email list, and be selling that, even if it's free, be pitching that in every piece of content. If you want to know how I like to take a small YouTube channel, which none of my YouTube channels are big, but I make multiple 6 figures off of this. If you want to know how I take a small YouTube channel and make a lot of money from it, get my free guide. It's over at lanesebring.com/small channel. It's called Small Channel Big Money. It's just a 1-page PDF that will help you think about your business from the perspective of it not needing to be large to make a lot of money. So that's a real resource that's really there for you, and it's for free. lanesebring.com/small channel. But that also, what I just did, is an example of what I'm talking about. Right in the middle of my video, in the kind of natural course of talking to you, I just said, hey, if you want to go further with me, learn more about this topic, here's the resource, lanesebring.com/small channel. That gets a percentage of you, like you watching me and other people who will watch this. There's a percentage of you who will hear that, and it will immediately trigger something in your mind, and you'll go, oh, I want to know how to make a lot of money from a small channel. And so you'll click in the link in the description, or you'll put lanesebring.com/small channel in, Chrome or whatever you use, and you'll get it. And when you do that, this video has turned from just a standalone piece of content to a flow, right? I'm taking you from the content, for those of you who want to go deeper with me, and giving you an opportunity to do that. So start with content before anything else. And then from there, while you're doing your content, you're going to get comments from people. People are going to opt into your email list, and you are going to hear from them. They're going to ask more questions. They're going to say, hey, can you talk more about this? Can you say more about that? I really enjoyed this. I would love to hear more about that. From that allows you to start thinking about your offer. What are you going to offer them? What is the problem that you're going to solve? And then from there, you're going to need a platform. You're going to need a backend. You're going to need something to organize all this. And it's going to need to be something that you own. You don't own Instagram or the followers that you have on there. They can just shut you off at any point. Same thing with YouTube, same thing with TikTok, same thing with Facebook. Same thing with LinkedIn, Substack, whatever your platform is. Those social media platforms are where we go out and get our audience and attract their attention by providing value through our content. But then from there, we got to get them from those platforms to where we have their attention, where we create the rules and no one can take it away from us. That's your website, that's your email list, that's your payment processor, that's your courses if you sell courses, that's your membership site or your community. And you can do all of that over at Kajabi. Kajabi is what I use to host my online businesses. It's what I've used since 2019. It's what I trust with all of my businesses. It is an all-in-one online business solution, and you can start for free over at lanesebring.com/Kajabi. You get a 30-day free trial plus all of my 3 exclusive bonuses to help you get the best possible start. Or if you'd rather skip the free trial and just get a really good deal on the first 3 months, you can do 3 months of Kajabi for one payment of $99. That gives you an on-ramp of 3 months to get everything set up. And then I have tons of resources on how to set your business up on Kajabi. So lanesebring.com/Kajabi. You'll see all of that there. So the first thing is content. As you're making your content, you get feedback from people to start building your offer, and then you're going to need a platform, and Kajabi is the one. How much money do I need before I quit my job to do this full time? I love this question because I think so often if you're in a job and you're thinking about leaving your job when you have an online business that's viable, it's easy to think, I have to be making as much as I make in my job. That's the first thing people think. So let's say that your job pays you $5,000 a month. This was the situation that I was in. I made about $5,000 a month from my job. This was back in 2019, 2020. And so I thought, well, as long as I make $5,000, and then I even remember thinking like, well, I need to make a little more because it's a business, so I'm going to have expenses. So maybe if I made $7,500, then I could go. Well, I got in a situation where I wasn't quite making even $5,000, but the trajectory was heading up. The business was growing, but the restriction that I had was time, because I still had a full-time job that demanded a lot of my attention, even though the money wasn't very good. The job was very high demand. It was in a nonprofit situation, so that's just kind of the way those go. You don't make a lot, but there's still the same amount of stress. So I still had all of the time constraints in this job, but this business, the little bit of time that I could give to it every day was making it grow. And I knew that if I let go of the job, even though the business wasn't quite there yet to support my family, it would get there faster if I jumped into it. So that's what I did. I'm not saying that's what everybody needs to do, but for me, I did not need as much as I thought I needed to get going, as long as I had the time to put into it and it was a proven concept. So I think sometimes it's a matter of looking at it and saying, is it growing? And is there a reasonable expectation that if I put more inputs, more time into it, it would grow continually and grow faster if I could sharpen that growth curve. So you want to be smart. It's really good to have savings. We had quite a bit of savings when we let go of the job, but the trajectory is the most important part. What do I do if I have zero idea what to sell? Start making content. See what problems people have. Solve those problems with an offer. That's as simple as I can do it. And the first offer that you can give is yourself through coaching. Because if people watch your content, they're gonna be people who are gonna want to get directly to you so that you can look at their exact situation and give your input. And that is super valuable. You can sell that. And once you start selling coaching, then you can do group coaching. Then you can package together what you learn in group coaching and make it some kind of curriculum. Then you can put that curriculum inside of a community and invite more people into it. So now the community is not just the curriculum, but it's also the curated group of people, the conversations and community that happen between each other that you curated and you get paid for. All of that stuff happens, but the very, very first thing you need to understand is that you have to start making content and you have to do that well. And you might have the question of, okay, where? YouTube, Instagram, where should I do it? I have this video right here, which is going to make an argument for why YouTube is the place. You're going to want to watch it. Like I got data. I got receipts, as the kids say. So click right there and I'll see you in that video.